August 25th, 2014.
सुख जीवता वरताता जग विस्मृति कर सिद्ध सत्य संग मां भव भवना पाप बरी जाता जग विस्मृत कर सिद्ध सत संग मां भव भवना बड़ी जाता निकाली अवस्थे तीव्र कर्म रूप सुख दुख भ्रांति औगर से निकाली अवस्थे तीव्र कर्म रूप सुख दुख भ्रांति औगर से कुदरती रचना माग्नाता थी ज्ञेयो परिमाणु खरी परिशी कुदरती रचना माग्नाता थई ज्ञेयो परमाणु खरी પડશે જ્ઞાની પુરુષના દર્શનથી પાપો ભસ્મીભૂત થઈ જાશે જ્ઞાની પુરુષના દર્શનથી પાપો ભસ્મીભૂત થઈ જાશે પરમાનંદી જ્ઞાતા દ્રષ્ટા ચેસિત સમ પ્રત્યેકા જીવમાં પરમાનંદી જ્ઞાતા દ્રષ્ટા છે સિદ્ધ સમ પ્રત્યેકા જીવમાં જ્ઞાની કીર્તે શુદ્ધાત્મલક્ષ જડિયું તેના બંધન તૂટતા જ્ઞાની કીર્પે શુદ્ધાત્મા લક્ષ જડિયું તેના બંધન તૂટતા સહુને મરજો આ મોક્ષ મિલન જગ કલ્યાણક સુખ વિધાતા સહુને મળજો આ મોક્ષ મિલન જગ કલ્યાણક સુખ વિધાતા સહુ મંગલ માં પ્રથમ મંગલ પ્રત્યક્ષ પ્રગટ જ્ઞાની પાસે સહુ મંગલ માં પ્રથમ મંગલ પ્રત્યક્ષ પ્રગટ જ્ઞાની પાસે જ્ઞાની પુરુષના દર્શનથી પાપો ભસ્મીભૂત થઈ જાશે અંતર ઠારક આ મોક્ષ મૂરત વિદેહથી મોક્ષે લઈ જાશે ભીતરે બાહરે અદ્ભુત શાંતિ ને દેહ પડોશી જમ ભાસે ભીતર બહાર અદ્ભુત શાંતિ ને દેહ પડોશી જમ ભાસે વિનાશી ચીજના મોહ જતા નિજ આત્માનંદ સ્વરૂપ લાધે વિનાશી ચીજના મોહ જતા નિજ આત્માનંદ સ્વરૂપ લાધે સર્વાંગે સાત્વિક શુદ્ધ ઉપયોગ સિદ્ધારથ અમરત તપ કંતે સર્વાંગે સાત્વિક શુદ્ધ ઉપયોગ સિદ્ધારથ અમરત ટપ કંતે નિધિધ્યાસ રહો શ્વાસોશ્વાસે માણ્યું મુક્તિ સુખ ત્રિસાજે નિધિધ્યાસ રહો શ્વાસોચ્છ્વાસે માણ્યું મુક્તિ સુખ ત્રિસાજે જ્ઞાની પુરુષના દર્શનથી પાપો ભસ્મીભૂત થઈ જાશે. જ્ઞાની પુરુષના દર્શનથી પાપો ભસ્મીભૂત થઈ જાશે. અંતર ઠારક આ મોક્ષ મૂર્તિ વિદેહથી મોક્ષે લઈ જાશે. અંતર ઠારક આ મોક્ષ મૂર્ત વિદેહથી મોક્ષે લઈ જાશે. અમે કેવા પુણ્યશાળી ભગવાનની ભૂમિકા આ દેહ મેં નિહાળી. અમે કેવા પુણ્યશાળી ભગવાનની ભૂમિકા આ દેહે અમે નિહાળી. અમે કેવા ભાગ્યશાળી જ્ઞાની પુરુષ પાસે મુક્તિની ચાવી ભાળી. અમે કેવા ભાગ્યશાળી જ્ઞાની પુરુષ પાસે મુક્તિની ચાવી ભાળી. અમે કેવા પુણ્યશાળી ભગવાનની ભૂમિકા આ દેહે અમે નિહાળી. અમે કેવા પુણ્યશાળી ભગવાનની ભૂમિકા આ દેહે અમે નિહાળી. આગમ સ્વરૂપ થાઉં એ માર્ગ મુક્તિનો છે. આગમ સ્વરૂપ થાઉં એ માર્ગ મુક્તિનો છે. સપ્તક માસમાં આસ્વાદ શ્રુતિનો છે. આસ્વાદ શ્રુતિનો છે. વાદાની વચિકા સૌ અજ્ઞાન માન્યતાઓ એણે દીધી ઉડાવી. વાદાને વચકા સૌ અજ્ઞાન માન્યતાઓ એણે દીધી ઉડાવી. અમે કેવા પુણ્યશાળી ભગવાનની ભૂમિકા આ દેહે અમે નિહાળી. અમે કેવા ભાગ્યશાળી જ્ઞાની પુરુષ પાસે મુક્તિની ચાવી ભાળી. જો વિશ્વના કરારો લાવે છે બેકરારી. જો વિશ્વના કરારો લાવે છે બેકરારી. તેમાય મિશ્ર ચેતન દાવા કરે કરારી. દાવા કરે કરારી. કહે છે અમોને આત્મા રૂપે જો જીત તારી આરોપી માહી જજ કહે છે અમોને આત્મા રૂપે જો જીત તારી અમે કેવા પુણ્યશાળી ભગવાનની ભૂમિકા આ દેહે અમે નિહાળી અમે કેવા ભાગ્યશાળી જ્ઞાની પુરુષ પાસે દીની ચાવી ભાડી સ્વરૂપ લક્ષીઓની અંદર છે શીતલે સ્વરૂપ લક્ષીઓની અંદર છે શીતલે શુદ્ધાત્માની સમાધિ અવગાઢ સુખ સૈયા અવગાઢ સુખ સૈયા અમે નિરાકુળ મુકામી મોક્ષે જઈ સુનિશ્ચય વ્યવહાર છે નિકાલી અમે નિરાકુળ મુકામી મોક્ષે જઈ સુનિશ્ચય વ્યવહાર.
We are in the break session of the morning of August 25, 2014 Parayan intense advanced study of Aptavani 3, and soon the satsang will resume with question and answer sessions. This is the fourth day of the Parayan that is happening in Simandar city, just about half an hour by road from the airport of Ahmedabad, the large city north of Mumbai, India, where thousands of Mahatmas have gathered to be with the Gnani Purush Dadashri, as we here are being with him through the reception of his words. And we just have no sound now. The lines say that how merit karma laden we are, Punishadi, that we have realized God within this body only. Okay, so he is now describing his experience. I was sleeping in the night, and then he says Prophet Muhammad came in his. I cried. He says that I am I don't do namaz. I don't do Muslim prayers. Will you please forgive me? He talked to me, Muhammad Paigambar, the Muhammad of Islam. He says, he replied that whenever a disciple comes to the master, the guru is always happy. Then I said, Pujya Niruma and Pujya Deepak Bhai and all the Aptaputras are doing the work of Jagat Kalyan. Will you please bless them? He said, my blessings are always there, but also the pleasure of God is on them, Allah. And then he made me listen to one ayat from Quran. The one who makes brother fight brother, the one who makes each other fight, the country fight with each other, and the God is angry with them, and the one who makes finds peace among human beings, whether brothers, then God is pleased with them. That is an ayat of Quran. He's, he says that Niruma and Deepak Bhai are doing this work, and therefore, and then you'll be able to see is that there will be a magnificent it's going to be a huge result of this because they are doing it. Jai Sachidanand. This was his dream where he met Muhammad, the leader of the founder of the Islam faith, in his dream, and a conversation with Muhammad. Now the uh, three more announcements being made here as we go into. Okay, Jai Sachidanand. I don't have any question. Good, very good. No, but I wanted to say something. Dimple Bhai just told me a few days ago. It is more important to have the hoof of the Gnani's Gnan rather than the Gnani's worldly interaction. Because to have the Gnani around you is not as much important as much as to really have the support of the Gnan of the Gnani. The Gnan of the Gnani is more important rather than the proximity, the physical proximity of the Gnani. Next one. And Bhagwati Ben from ATPL is talking. He says even at the karma can explode at the age of 60. I have to become 60. What should I do when the subatomic particles of karma? Many when you do yes, yes. If you do pratikrama now, then by the time you're 60, nothing will. Just but Samayik and pratikrama will keep it separate from you. Please grace us. That's you. Just remain. No matter what may explode, just grant me the energy to remain separate. Next question. Recently, yesterday in the Aptavani, it came that when your face changes, then you have to remain separate. We should remain in the seat of the Shuddhatma. When you are in the seat of Shuddhatma, the face will not spoil, right? Because it is Akram, you have not finished all this. The field stock may be there. So the field stock, the face will spoil, the mind may spoil, the speech may spoil, the actions may also go bad. You see, and you will turn totally. Everything may turn, but the stock is like that. But in that, you need to see that this should not be so, and therefore you become free from it. You see, but heavy. Yes, yes, you were engrossed, and therefore we are. You see, through pratikraman you separate, through understanding you separate from the Pudgalik Bhav and the Pudgalik intention of the non-self. Thank you, Jai Sachidanand. Next one. for 2 to 3 days. And there talk about the siddhi, and then the siddhi that was used for Niruma and for you. What was the siddhi that was used by Dada? Was it a special time that we have? Did Dada arrange something special? No, it was nothing special. No, there was nobody knew anything about it. Yes, it was a date. He just said, "Come and do the Charan Vidhi." That's all. You had no idea, right? No, I did not have any idea that. What is once that siddhi was spent? What was this change in your state after that? Yeah, there was an internal change. There was more bliss and there was more separation inside. But then afterwards, what was noticeable to you? Yes, because but the awareness remained that I too have to listen to this satsang. You see, the awareness arose that I too have to listen. Deepak too has to listen to this satsang that is happening through his speech, and that awareness arose. So the gentleman is not listening to the remarks of Deepak Bhai, but anyway, it was extremely remarkable because so it was a remarkable thing because it was a phenomenal event. There was a major change within, and then but there are 10,000 people sitting. There is not the slightest disturbance inside. I am listening to what the words are coming out through this medium. There is a major increase in the energy, and that is a major blessing. Dadashri has said that I have let the entire energy of the Siddhi, I have let it flow in the Brahmand, in the universe. I don't know anything about that. Is the same as what you have been given to you? I don't know. Dada knows as the answer. Dada says that Acharya Pad is not possible. He says that Acharya Pad will arise afterwards. I want to understand what is an Acharya Pad. Namo Ayaryanam. What is an Acharya Pad? What is an Acharya? Acharya means right now we are in the ones who are trying to get Versada. And then when you learn and then you teach others, that's called Upadhyay. And when it is in your conduct, when you are in Swaparinam, nothing externally touches you, then that is called the Acharya. Dada says that there is no Acharya right now. No, it is no. Don't worry about what is the state of Dada. What is your problem? Do you think are we not happy that we have become sadhus? Namo Lois. That means they are going. Sadhu is defined as the one who goes after the soul only and nothing else. You see, and he was moving for further. So Dada is with us. Is it okay if we say that you are the Acharya? Then he says you will incur a loss if you. Why do you really say that I am an Acharya? We are all Mahatmas, why do you really need to consider me higher than a Mahatma? How many Gnani Purush are there in the Gnani Purush? There are many. Now you are asking so many questions. How many Gnani Purush are there in the Bharakshetra? So Deepak Bhai is deflecting that question, not answering this. So he did not answer that question. And so now how can you do that? So that one question was deflect. How many Gnanis are there in the world right now? And then he, without waiting for that answer, he goes now from how does one experience the soul? The one who was going in the wrong direction, then he experienced pain, and when he is going in the right direction, then he will experience the bliss of the self. And you see, when he was in wrong belief, he was experiencing pain, and when he goes in the right belief, then he experiences bliss. And when he receives the Gnani, this grace, then he knows that Ich bin reine Seele, I am pure soul, and therefore he becomes free from the pain. The gold itself does not know that it is so precious. The gold itself does not know that it is so precious. In the same way, but once he really recognizes that I verily am the eternal element in all of this, I am indestructible. Then he starts experiencing the bliss of the self. This is not something that cannot be understood through the intellect, says Deepak Bhai. You can say that, you could write, you should understand that the self who is realized begins to experience his own bliss within him. I am experiencing my own self only. How will I know that I am experiencing my own bliss? He is asking. When your intellect shuts up and quiet and becomes peaceful, then you will begin this. But right now, I want to buy a car, I want to get a home, and I get the pleasure of the home and the car. No, that is a file that needs to be settled. Then that dependent pleasure, the pleasure is dependent on the car and the home is temporary. You just said the mind wants a car, the mind wants a home, etc. But once I get the relative achievement that I bought a car and I got a home, then there is a little bit of pleasure. How is he experiencing pleasure? He's asking a ton of questions. How will he know? How is it that, and what is the evidence that there is bliss of the self? How will I should know? Well, the owner of the home knows first that there is bliss within, you see, is the answer. I feel like that is, I says that we, yes, yes, all yes, when you attain absolute knowledge, the entire entourage of the celestial begins and the entire world will know that you have attained Keval Gnan, absolute knowledge. But why do you want others to know that you have attained absolute knowledge? Why do you want others to know that you are going to moksha? That is the problem of the intellect only. But you see, when that intellect goes away, then when the intellect goes away, all energies of this will and all experiences will happen. Yes, yes, Mahavide is just a name, but you see, it is just a Mahavide means it's a name, and it is a location. You see, no. Will we be without a body? No. Mahavide is not a place where we'll be without a body. There will be a body also. There are 15 such worlds, and there are human beings in 15 worlds. You see. Next one. Okay, so Bhushan and Suresh Dubey. Jai Sachidan. I want to. There is that to get cheated deliberately, then the intellect rises very high. What is the science behind getting yourself cheated deliberately? To get it defeats the selfish intent. It's because when you get it, there is it is when you get something, there is a veil over you, and when you let it go, then there is the energies of the self that arise. Because there is the because the anger and there is penance because the ego and the intellect are not listened to. You see, and therefore there is penance. Then therefore you will be able to the energy of the intellect will be such that the purity of the intellect will be so good that you can even shake up the Supreme Court judge. You see, so the greedy one will cheat you for money. The proud one will take away some respect, demand some respect from you. But these are all paudgalic. But Dada says that I am not a merchant of paudgalic intents. I am a merchant of the intents of the soul only. And so now this idea, and when the deliberately to get deliberately cheated is it is applicable to all the four mistakes. If somebody if you're doing good work, then if somebody says would you please move over, then you should. If you allow yourself the other person to take over, then there is no inner suffering, you see, and then you have gotten allowed yourself to get cheated deliberately. That is the thing. It'll increase your intellect to the top level. Now next one. Supposing we do hurtful karma to others, and so we feel that something wrong has happened, but when we do pratikraman, and then we also know through pratikraman that there is a change in the other person, but I do not understand how pratikraman improves the other person. I do not understand the science which improves the other person. Yes, by pratikraman I know a lot of beautiful changes happen, but I do not know how the message reaches when I am doing silent pratikraman. And when I do feel a change in the other person, I want to understand the science of pratikraman. The soul is such that whatever thought comes in the thought that Suresh is like this, or with the moment you become when you get absorbed in the negative thoughts, those vibrations will reach this soul of the other person. You see, it will reach the soul of Suresh Kumar, the other person, and he will know that this person is. So the soul can receive vibrations from another soul, and therefore, and when you do pratikraman, then also it reaches the soul of the other person. Then the soul recognizes that the other person is repentant, and therefore it is like it is a soccer play. You see, when you kick the ball, the other person kicks the soccer ball back and forth. But when you stop kicking the soccer ball, nobody will kick it to you, would they? Now, and so now I have been hurtful through dvesh to somebody else, but I have never known anyone. I have not never met him in this life. But sometimes we feel good when I have good feelings when I'm in front of him. How is it happening? We have not done anything to him. It may have you have not done it in this life. You have done something with him in the previous life, and with you there is some kind of opinion that within you. If it is in accordance with your opinion, you will like him. If it is against your opinion, you will dislike him. These are all effects of subatomic particles that have kind of gelled in as impressions and opinions. Supposing there is rag karma or dvesh karma that is there, but through pratikraman, and through pratikraman he's speaking in Hindi, then I become aware that the rag dvesh has decreased through pratikraman, then do I need to do anything? Then you don't have to do anything. You only do pratikraman for the suffering that arises within. It feels there is something lacking, things are not correct, then do the pratikraman. But don't really just continue to grab onto the tail of pratikraman and not let go of it. You see, next one. Now, two more announced. And then Dr. Jignesh, so there are Pankaj Vakharia, Jai Sachidanand, Deepak Bhai. Dadashri says that anger, greed, deceit, pride. If you do not feed anger, greed, pride, deceit, and greed for 3 hours, then they will leave your home. I want to know what is the food of anger, pride, deceit, and greed. And why did he say 3 years? Why did he not say 1 year? Why did not he say 5 years? And the third question is, and ours is all discharging, is it not? If it is discharging, but when you feed the discharge, when you are feeding the discharge, when you become absorbed, when you become over or nada, you see, why are you feeding it? Now let's see how you are feeding anger. Supposing you are becoming angry with your son, and then when a neighbor comes and says it's not good to scold your child, then he said no, he will only study if I become angry with him. Therefore, you know that it is wrong to become angry with the son. Number two, and you are repentant, but when somebody finds faults with you, your ego reacts and says, no, I will have to tell him something. He doesn't understand it. At that time, you are protecting the anger, and therefore you are feeding the anger. You see, you are nourishing the anger. At that time, you should say, no, it was my mistake. It was wrong. I should not have done it. Please forgive me. I don't need to do. Then you are not feeding the anger, and therefore the anger will go away. So the sustenance, the nourishment, and the support that you give to the anger, that is the food for 3 years. But if the body is anger, pride, deceit, and greed are not necessary, will the person not die if the anger, pride, deceit, and greed go away in 3 years? No. Yes, you can, but the ego will be there. You can have the ego of Jagat Kalyan. No, after the anger, pride, deceit, and greed are gone in 3 years, as Dada says, if you do not feed them. Jai Sachidanand. You said that the soul has got has the quality of imagining things, and under the pressures of circumstance, he becomes Vikalpi, I am away, and the Gnani makes him Ishwin Rainesile. Is it possible once you become attain? Once you attain the knowledge of the self, then you never become Vikalpi. You have become Nirvikalpi. And he has become Nirvikalpi without any Vikalp, without any I am Uve. because of the help and the nimit of the Gnani, and therefore he will definitely move in one direction only and will move in the direction. So he will remain in the bliss of the self only. He will never become Vikalpi again. He will never have I am Uve again. You see, the I am Uve is gone forever in the Gnan Vidhi. Next one, Dr. Jignesh now. He is a doctor at Amba Health Center. Jai Sachidanand. Yesterday you talked about Mishrasa, Prayogsha and Vishrasa many times, but when you talked about causal body, electrical body and effective body, what is the connection of all of these subatomic particles, especially with the electrical body which does the digest? Certain electrical body is certain types of subatomic particle, or it is actually there is no chetan, there is no self in it, and there is a lot of description in the scriptures only. You see, there is this a physical body becomes with certain types of subatomic particles. In the presence of the soul, the non-self subatomic particles come into and form a body, you see, and it gives the electricity to the body. Solar, just as the solar cell, just as the photocell absorbs the energy of the sun and electricity arises, there is such photochemicals that as soon as it gets the sunlight, electricity arises, you see. So because there is light, then there is a material, and the electricity then arises within the photocells. In the same way, the non-self complex has the electrical body too, and the electricity within the body complex does the, and it continues to be, the electrical body is there until the final liberation. It is constantly remains in every body, and it remains constant. It does the it is one of the miracles of the world. You see, it supplies electricity. It keeps no, it is on autopilot, automatic. Here we have to find plugs. You have to find there is respiration, digestion, excretion, filtering, etc. Everything, thousands of different machineries. It provides the electricity, the electrical energy to the electrical body, and then the Chetan is the Bhagwan. The Lord is there, gets all of those supports. It's all ready made for this. We do not know who we are, but the Lord is provided with all of this ready-made mechanisms for the body. You see, my question is, just as the causal body, no. From causal body it comes in electrical body. He misspoke. That is not how it is. But anyway, the causal body, then there is the electrical body. They are distinct bodies, and then. Uh, so he really is now. I do not understand the interaction between causal body and the electrical body, but many of those Western scientists are thinking that there were 90%, that 90% of the diseases are psychosomatic, and yes, Dada has said that most of the diseases are mental in nature, and the psychogenic in nature, psychosomatic in nature, and then especially therefore there is a lot of research on meditation and breath, etc. Then we wanted to know, is Samayik beneficial for? Yes, Samayik will make a tremendous difference. Yes, bliss of the self is such that all diseases go away, and pain of the body complexes kind of creates all kinds of diseases. And people, the scientists, the physical scientists, doctors of medicine try to cure the disease of the body, but they are not aware of this magnificent treatment which is the Samayik. And Samayik has a tendency to cure all diseases. When we had biological sciences in medical college, but we thought if there is some way to introduce this Samayik to the medical schools, no, don't try to interfere with what is happening in the medical schools. You see, let it happen in our shibirs only. Yes, you can. Yes, yes, many people do pratikraman. You see, just forgive and forgive and forget. You see, people start gross pratikraman, but you see, but when you can do, but we do the exact pratikraman by seeing the other person as faultless first, absolutely flawless, and then to look where we are wrong in this, and then do pratikraman. Yeah. There was some kind of progress in that. Then would you please bless us and guess that we can carry this science into the medical schools around, in the medical colleges around. You see, will you please? Yeah, we would like to share it so that we can share it in the medical schools that are around us in India. Very good, very good. That's all what Dr. says is correct. Let us have that intention. That is all. Next one. Manorama Jain and Jayesh Rana. Varsha Shah. Dada has said that Vyavasthit is given only for this life only. So Vyavasthit is only for one life. After you've given the causes, the effect is only one effect in this life. And then the causes of this life will have the effect in this life. The effect is Vyavasthit. Effect is one life, you see, and that is Vyavasthit. The entire. Therefore, we should not have to do anything about the relative. Just concentrate on Agna. Fine. How can we accumulate credit in the account of the pure soul only? That is where our intention should be. That is all. Next one. Next one. Yesterday you had said that the Jad Bhav, the intentions of the Pudgal are of the non-self, and what is the, and we have to separate the intentions of the non-self from the intentions of the self. Yeah, it says if you keep them separate, then everything, because we are in Akram, but we, therefore, because if we see anybody at fault, make Manorama do Pratikraman. That is all. That is the only extra item. The separation, to see, keep it separate, because the world has arisen by becoming Tanmayakar, by becoming the body form, mind formed, by becoming Uve Katya Nada, and by being the self, the world will disappear, will dissolve. It will not bother you in any way. You see, so, and you see Jad Bhav. You see the Jad Bhavs, the Jad Bhaya of mind, body, and speech, anger, deceit, greed, or pride. They are all effective. And at that time, do I have to remain in five agnas? Five agnas? Yes, it is through only the five agnas you will remain in the awareness of separation. And then there are the evidences of evidences of how the other person is flawless, and also I have to do it. No, not with awareness. I have to have it in your understanding only and nothing else. That is all. Next one. I got my answer. Jai Shran, I got my answer. Next one. How can I know that this has been filled in this stock? The mind will get spoiled, is the answer. When you have suffering, will you not know that this is Pudgal Bhav? When any kind of pain arises, then you can know that you are in Pudgal Bhav, because you are not experiencing. Well, why did your bliss of the self went away? This is because you have become Manorama, you have become this body complex again. That's all. Next one. Jigna Amipara, Ashrat Chandrala Asrat. Dada kept all the vows and intentions in discharge. Does the Gnani Bhavo does not have any intentions at all? No, only the ignorance one has got so all intentions belong to the non-self complex only. The Gnani Bhavo does not have any intentions, only the intention to follow five agnas, brahmacharya, jagat kalyan, that kind of intentions. We do not do pratikarma, pratikyan, we only support them, and therefore, and so want to go to Mahavadeshetra, there is that bhavna, and therefore it carries forward, because we keep it with us. We do not, because they help us on our path to moksha. Now, but and the subatomic particles by very nature are activity felt, and by so but knowing the vibhav does not arise by seeing, it arises by ignorance only. Yes, you see, he's seeing, but you see, because of ignorance, he believes that it is happening to me or I am doing it. But the seeing has been there in ignorance also, and in knowledge also, in Gnan also. But in the seeing in ignorance is saying I'm away, I'm seeing it, whereas seeing with knowledge is that I'm just seeing that as I'm just seeing only, that is all. So that is. So now no new energies happen because you become the Rhinocelia, no new energies will arise. Yeah, that will create new karma. If you take a piece of ice from the fridge and put it outside, it will melt away, will it not? In the same way, it goes in its original state, which is water, and our own power the effect will go away, and then one will go into the pure soul only. You see, the energy is of the original energy only, but it was vibhavic energy. Hmm. You see, when the roof flies away in a storm, that is the motion energy element. But when rust arises on a piece of iron, it is just see, it changes. See, in other words, on its own, when steel disintegrates and rusts and then finally becomes dust, that it's its own independent energies as independent energies of change, whereas the other one is another energy coming in, which is the wind energy or the motion energy through wind that is flying away. You see, the steel, yes, the steel. You see, like I said, so there are the Prithvikai Jeeves. In other words, even in steel, there is living beings, life. And so once the life goes away, then it disintegrates and it just becomes mixed with the original elements only. Next one, Prithvikai Jivo. That is the souls in the earth. Souls in the earth. Prithvikai Jivo. That where the body, the earth is the body of the soul. Dada has given us the Samkit, the right vision, and it has given us the exact, continuous, unbreakable vision called the Kshayak Samkit. Yes, Dada has given us Kshayak Samkit, that means it can, and Mithyatva Mo, Mishra Mo, and Samyakatva Mo, and then all the seven types of Prakriti is gone, and Kshayak Samkit is remaining. All the previous kinds of moha illusions that used to cover as veils are gone. You see, uh, but it is remaining in discharge. You see, in fact, originally they are gone, but in discharge, apratyakhani, pratyakhyani, and mistakes are also remaining, but in discharge only, and therefore that is why pratikraman is needed in the discharge hurt that arises. The live in the when the Dada says that I have given you absolute knowledge, but you are not able to digest it. The I mean, and you see, when he is in five agnas, then he will be able to see it. He has given us. Dada has given us kevar darshan, absolute vision that I am not the doer, and we know the exact understanding of the vyavasthit as the doer. And if we are in the five agnas, therefore we have attained the exact vision, 100% with conviction, and with awareness 15%, and with experience, Kshaya Samkit is 2% only, and sooner or later he will attain moksha, right? Yes, he will attain moksha. In 1 or 2 lives he will attain moksha, and maximally 14 or 15 lifetimes he will attain moksha. Everything will leave and go away. I want to go. When do you want it? Like only one more lifetime. You see, yeah. From here to Mahavidya and from there moksha. That is all. That is exactly how it is going to be for those in the five agnas. When the chitvritis wander, is it cause or effect? In ignorance it is a cause, in Gnan it is discharge. But Niruma said something else, she says. And Niruma says, if you become absorbed wherever, but if you become Tanmaya, you'll have to go where the chitvritis go. Is it a cause? No, it is discharge after Gnan only. But when my chit vritti is going here and there, then if I go, then will I have to go there? No, you should not go there. Sit down, see where it's going. Don't go where your chit is going. If it is wandering, is it a cause? No. If you are separate, then it is not a cause. You see? And you have to, this is the filled stock of puja, and I have got nothing to do with it. Her chit is wandering. But wherever the rag, dvesh, moh, pratikraman, are you doing pratikraman, pratyakhyan for the kashais that are happening? Then those chitvritis will stop wandering. Well, how will it stop? You can keep on doing Dada Bhagwan Asim Jai Jaikar for 1 hour, your chit will stop wandering. Start doing that. Start singing Dada Bhagwan na Asim Jai Jaikar ho. I do not want to hurt anyone through this mind, speech and body. Are you hurting others? But no. I want to know. Are you hurting anyone? Yes, I am hurting. As long as you're hurting other people, when the kashais stop, that your chits will stop wandering. If you if you see, if somebody has, if you have, if somebody has insulted you, then your chit vritti will be wandering over there only. If you are greedy and you have sustained a loss all day, your chit will be in money only. If you are hungry for food excessively, then all day long you'll be thinking of food only. So by doing the pratikraman for the kashayas, the chit vritti wandering will decrease, and also stop wanting to have it your way only. Stop your manmani or the willfulness. I feel like that everything is manmani and I want to have it my way only. I want to hold the remote control only. I want to. That means you have just got the answers. The next one, Shobna Patel. The intentions of the Pudgal are of the non-self complex on a matter only, and they are not mine. I am aware of it when the karma is light, when the heavy force of karma unfolds, especially when there is heavy moha illusion, then there is a lot of problems. I know that this is not a single quality of the Prakriti is in me and my, not a single property of my is in I, but at the same time, then there at that time there is a little bit of relief, but at the same time that I feel like that I am being deceitful, because on the one side I know it is wrong, and the other side saying that it is, this is not mine, this is not mine. Both are happening. I feel I am being deceitful, and there is a lot of suffocation, there is a lot of burning. What should I do at that time? And how can I remain in the I only? That Ishmin Rainesile. By seeing it separate is your state, is the answer. Do it slowly. It's not going to happen in one day, lady. The junk will arise, then you will have the experience of it, that there is no bliss, there is in this is only temporary pleasure only, it is followed by pain, and slowly you will stop going there. And it happens in every instance. I feel like she has improved, but as soon as it arises she just goes in the wrong way, and because that means the wrong stuff is coming out, and it is coming out to empty. Are you not better by 2%? Yes. Have you improved 7%, 15%? No, I have improved a lot. If you Even if you have improved by 12%, it is amazing. If the fan has, if you disconnect a fast speeding fan, it is not going to stop immediately. It will slow. The revolutions of the fan will continue until it comes to a dead stop. You see, you do not leave your state of the self only. No matter what happens, do not let go of your state. Hmm. Forget about the 12 hours. Even if you speak, even if you hurt somebody even for an hour, you have to do pratikraman. You see, forget about the 24 hours. But even if in the 1 hour there has been a disturbance, you should be extremely repentant about it, and you should be talking to her and say, hey, do you think this looks good for you? Other people will say she has never improved after this Gnan. She is a Mahatma of Gnani Purush Dadashri. Is this the way she is supposed to be behaving? Look at her. Look at her reactions. You need to keep her separate. You see, when you do not support her, she'll fall away. That's all. But you keep on supporting her. You keep on protecting her, etc. You see, you should not do this. You really need to just, you know, you should have repentance for 10 times. If the slightest conflict that arises or the problem arises, it should bother you. Why should I? What kind of business is it that in order to satisfy my hunger, I am hurting another human being? This is terrible. I should not do this at all. That I am worse than a human being. I am not even a human being. I am acting like an animal. A human being will never hurt any other human being. Therefore, you have to do pratikraman, but settle the file with equanimity, remain under the agna of vyavasthit. But you see, but why? And you also kind of scold her, remain separate and scold her that why are you, but you see, but every time she is following whatever the mind tells her to. But you see, no matter what happens, you really need to, ultimately you have to separate from her, that I am not in your storms at all. Oh Dada Bhagwan, grant me the energy to settle this file with equanimity. She is a very difficult file. File 1 is a difficult file. Give me the energy. Then ask her, do you like this nonsense that you're carrying on? Talk to the file number like that, and then let her agree that she doesn't like it, you see. And so she does pratyakyan and pratikram, but she is the same way again, all over again. But you see, we are now sowing the seeds of ghee, of yes, I have, but you're but if you want wheat fields, Why am I seeing millet only or some other grain? Because that is what you had planted in the last life. Now now you are improving, clearing up the fields and only filling it with wheat that we want, you see. Then I see this is not mine, this is not mine, I don't want to let go, I don't want to let go, etc. But I am also making her understand. So what should I do? Should I? No, no, Shwanda, don't try to improve on. Just keep it separate. And then if you, it's very simple. Now Deepak is going to a very simple answer, which is keep it separate. And if she hurts anyone, then make her do pratikraman. As simple as that. And then with the intentions, with the exception of the experience of the pure soul, I do not want anything temporarily. And now today you talked about Parayan, and he's allowing a lot of questions for the same person now. And then she says, and then when we have seen Niruma through TV, when I first saw Nirumam, I had so much Niruma. When Niruma was talking about Dada, Dada is like this, Dada is like that. At that time I thought, and then says, what kind of Dada is that? And then I saw Dada, and immediately when I saw Dada, I said, what is he? He doesn't look like a god, he looks like an old man only. And then so I had such negativity for Dada, and then I had a lot of pull toward Niruma, but I did not like the image of Dada, and I had negative feelings for Dada, and there, and then I also told Niruma, and I said that I like you very much, but I cannot stand the photograph of Dada or something, and this is what is happening, and so. And I started arguing with her that it is that everybody is, you see, I could not understand the beauty of our Gnani Purush Dadashri, and now I see, and then I did not realize the magnificent purity of Akram Vignan, and I have never, in front of all the Mahatmas, I'm openly being repentant for all of these satsangs. I took Gnan in 2003, but then I went I went to the Jatra with you, and then I felt like that I have a lot of reverence for the Gnani, but I told you that I have never negativity towards you. I told also, and then I finally realized that I felt I was superior. Then I felt like I know, but I don't know. I never knew that I was. He has given me, and I know that I'm going ahead because of Gnani, but I somehow had negative, and a lot of internal storms were happening against you. So please grant me the energy that I will never find faults with any kind of Gnani, any Gnani. I'll never be in the Viratna of the Gnani, and I will never also move away from the Vitrak, path of the Vitrak. This is my, please bless me from this. Deepak says that's correct. Now, now when you are in Aratna, then Viratna goes away. When positivity starts, then you will avoid. Let us take the Samayik today on the negativity. How can we be? The Samayik was on the Rajipo and the pleasure of the Gnani. Where am I doing anything that will displease the Gnani? What is that? And so let us find now. Please sit down, you see. Let us all check on our own selves. Where do we miss? So where we are missing the Agna of the Gnani. Are we pleased? Is the Gnani pleased with us, or Niruma says? And the Niruma always says that I will never take a step that will displease the Gnani. If the Gnani is pleased, then only I would move forward. You see, always Niruma always was looking for the pleasure of the Gnani only. In the same way, and that is exactly what we are wishing for. You see, and slowly we will definitely, we know that this is the storm of the pride, and these are all lalachis, the deep intense inner hunger for feeding this kasha is only is called lalach. You see, whether it is sex or pride or money or etc. So we need to find out what is anything existing here which is driving me away. Everyone is a Mahatma of Dada. I need to be one with the Mahatma of Dada. I do not need to hurt anyone. I do not need to find fault with anyone. And because of worldly validation of the pride, as worldly pleasures, am I hurting others? You see, am I hurting anyone? Is Let us to leave ignorance on side. But ever since this Gnan begun within us, just like this lady just talked about, is our ego intellect playing games with us? And are we comparing other religions here? Are we putting down other religions? Let us see in Samayik that this is all wrong. Are we violating any of the 9 columns? You see, especially the first 2 or 3, 4 columns here. This is very much. We see especially the nimit, the gnani through which we had the awareness of the self. You see, he is the one, we totally kind of shifted us and moved us in another dimension of the self. He's the one, he's the source, he's the gnani. There we are making such errors. But yeah, are we finding faults? Why are we finding faults? Why, on the basis of feeding our own inner hunger, we moving away from this beautiful grace of the Gnani? When we start seeing negativity, by having, instead of having positive approach, we enter into negativity and run away from him and separate from him. When you hurt anyone, Dadashri says, then I will not be pleased with you. Dada would never be pleased. You have to remain. When you are in Agna and awareness, the Gnani is very pleased. And when you have the bhavana of Jagat Kalyan, the Gnani will be very happy. When you serve the Mahatmas of Dada, then you are serving Dada only. That was another very beautiful. So whatever pleases Dada, do that. And whatever displeases Dada, then move away from that. Do not hurt anyone. Do not hurt Mahatmas. Do not get into negativity. And where have you been negative? I want to get the work of moksha done. This is the priceless thing. This is never attained in the world, in the whole life. When all along the life you were wondering, it may take count that we have passed millions of lifetimes wanting to know what the soul will be like, and in 1 hour we have received it. We do not understand the value, the magnificent value of what we have received, and therefore, you see, you see, yeah. You see, in other words, supposing so the intellect does not let you enjoy the beauty of what you have received. You see, and therefore the role of the intellect is to keep you stuck in the worldly interactions only, and therefore and does not let you devalue the relative. It always places a lot of value on the relative, and so this is why it is so important that you have the bhakti bhav, the aradhana of the Dada, and you do not want to take a single step that will displease Dada, the Gnani. In every step, you should have the awareness that of this anger, all these kashais that am I doing, all of this nonsense and insistence that I am into in this kashais, will it please Dada? All this hurt that I am causing to others, will it please Dada? And so let us look where we are wrong in this. And so, and then they can look at when we have been slanderous towards somebody, have been talking negatively about somebody, some instigating slander towards somebody, hurting somebody because we intend to hurt him, etc. So anger, pride, deceit, and greed, rag, dvesh, it is the filled stock. We filled it in ignorance in last life, and it will unfold and discharge in this life. But our awareness must be there against it, because otherwise we will sustain a loss. Loss means to enter into kashais, and profit means to be in bliss only of the self, you see. And the profit, and when there is profit, that means state of the self, then that is Dada will be happy. So anything that moves in the direction of the self through the progress as the self, when you look at file 1, that is all profit. And you can warn file 1 and say that, come on, you can warn Uwe, you can warn Nada, you don't need to go there. Then he will understand. So let us do a beautiful Samayik today. Let us do the Samayik. This is the Samayik. This such that even after doing it for 1, it is not over. We have to look at, this is the goal of our life only, that I want to have the blessings of Dada. I want to receive his grace. This is the path of grace. I want to understand what he is trying to do. But you see, I have understood it and I can explain it to others. That is not the path. It is not. It is the path. If you have less understanding, if you don't have any ability, but if your ego is lagu and lagutar and lagutam, and ego is sublimated, Dada is very, very happy with us, and it is through grace only, and with the receptive grace only, this grace, that moksha will happen. The biggest thing is the laguta, and lower, and by becoming lower than the lowest, you develop love for each other, oneness with each other, and that is where the blessings of the Gnani Purush is. And then the Prem Swarup is the positive nature of it. But where there is love, there is no hurt to anyone, you see. Yes, the worldly nature is always there in the Prakriti, but we are going to move away from it and we come into the nature of the self only. Then only Dada will be happy for it. And let us do it, such analysis, and set it as a goal in our life. And on all of this rust and this nonsense must leave, and that is what we really need to be in. Let us do a great Samayik today and take the blessings of Dada and do the firm decision that I want to move in the directions of prajna, gnan, awareness, kashai-less state. Let us do the vidhi now. Hey Dada Bhagwan, absolute self within me. O Lord Sri Simandar Swami Prabhu, the Lord at Mahavide, the fully enlightened one, with the exact applied awareness of the self Shuddha Upyog, since the Gnani met me, from that point onwards, having attained the knowledge of Gnani Purush Dadashri and Dada Bhagwan, and then having come into this satsang, it's so that I may attain the pleasure of Gnani Purush Dadashri and Dada Bhagwan. And if there is anything that is in opposition to that, whether it is mind, speech, and body, or any mistakes of kashais or sexuality have happened, let me see all such mistakes in Samayik, and having seeing them in Samayik, let me make such a decision that my entire life will will be such that Dada will be pleased with me. In whatever situations in the previous life was missed, where I missed pleasing Dada, let me see that in the Samayik and grant me the energy. Let it not happen ever again. Let me be in that awareness, and I am making that firm decision. And by acquiring the total Rajipa of Dada Bhagwan and becoming worthy of his grace, grant me such energy, my Lord. I surrender the mind, speech, and body, all illusions associated with my name, bhav karma, charge karma, dravya karma, subtle discharge karma, yellow glasses, no karma, gross discharge karma. O Dada Bhagwan, absolute self within me, you are manifest within me, you are the absolute self within me, and to you at your divine feet I am surrendering all these. I am surrendering it all, my Lord. Shuddhatma chu, Shuddhatma chu, Shuddhatma chu, Shuddhatma chu, Shuddhatma chu, Shuddhatma chu. Shuddhatma chu, 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 Shuddhatma. Jai Sachidanand, Jai Sachidanand. Go deep beautifully. Niruma is watching us. If we do the slightest mistake, Niruma is there and saying us. And let us do something that will please Niruma. And if she is pleased with you, she will give her grace to us. We have this magnificent Nile. We have got this magnificent science. And why should sustain any kind of loss? Let us see the total thing. And let us remain in the absolute humility of all and become free from kashais, and let us do this magnificent Samayik. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. Jai Sachidanand. There is our Niruma and Dada, and her compassion filled eyes and love.